Hi, Jake here. Wanted to go over this chapter in 1 Corinthians. It's 1 Corinthians 12, and tell you about what God had shown me in this, and hopefully it kind of speaks to you. In chapter 12, verse 4, I'm going to read from 4 to 31, so bear with me. It says, "Now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. And there are diversities of operations, but it is the same God which worketh all in all. But the manifestation of the Spirit is given to every man to profit withal. For to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another gifts of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits, to another diverse kinds of tongues, and to another interpretation of tongues. But all these worketh that one and selfsame Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. For as the body is one, and hath many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is Christ. For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body, whether we be Jews or Gentiles, whether we be bond or free, and have been all made to drink into one Spirit. For the body is not one member, but many. If the foot shall say, Because I am not the hand, I am not the body, is it therefore not the body? And if the ear shall say, Because I am not the eye, I am not the body, is it therefore not the body? If the whole body were an eye, where were the hearing? If the whole were hearing, where were the smelling? But now hath God set members, every one of them, in the body, as it hath pleased him. And if they were all one member, were all the body? Or where were the body, it says. If they were all one member, where were the body? But now are they many members, yet but one body. And the eye cannot say unto the hand, I have no need of thee, nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. Nay, much more those members of the body, which seem to be more feeble, are necessary. And those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor, and our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness. For our comely parts have no need. But God hath tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to the parts which lacked, that there should be no schism in the body. Schism is a tricky word. I didn't understand what schism meant. Schism is a separation, that there be no separation, whether it be due to a disagreement or whatnot. It means there be no separation. That's what it was talking about there. So it says that there should be no schism in the body, but that members should have the same care for one another. And whether one member suffer, all members suffer with it. Or one member be honored, all members rejoice with it. Now ye are the body of Christ, and members in particular. And God hath set some in the church, first apostles, secondarily prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healing, helps, governments, diversities of tongues. Are all apostles? Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Are all workers of miracles? Have all the gifts of healing? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret? But covet earnestly the best gifts, and yet show I unto you a more excellent way. Yeah, I know that was a pretty long bit of reading there, but I wanted to talk to y'all about this, man. This is, I believe, something very important because not only is it showing that, you know, we are the body of Christ, it's also showing, hey, we mean something here. We all have our own job, and what I can't do uh, is meant for someone else to take the slack. You know, if I can't go and get my point across to someone, uh, then God will send someone who can. If I'm not able, you know, I may not have that gift of the word of wisdom or the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, or even discerning of spirits. I may not have those gifts, but God will send someone who does have those gifts to do His work. And so I know that the body is made up of separate parts, you know, to form this whole body. Now each gift and or member, they all have different jobs, whether it be a preacher who's preaching, or a teacher who's teaching, or even a cook who's showing love and giving to the those who need a meal, you know, or even people who have spiritual discernment. They can say, hey, this person, I can tell they don't have that same love that I've got, or maybe they're full of negativity. Their spirit is just so low. The fact that they're able to see that can be a work in itself. But to see it and to say, you know, they may not have this spirit of love in them, I want to show them how. I want to show them that spirit of love, the same one that I've got, the same one that the rest of this church has. And so I also like in there that, you know, it says one part can't say to the other, hey, I don't need you. You know, I'm not the best singer, but I think, you know, I do a decent job, and there's a lot of people who get touched just by a song. You know, there's singers up there on stage. The preacher can't say, well, I don't need singers. No, that's all a part of this body here. You do need that singer, because he or she may be able to reach someone that you can't. Or I don't need this cook. You know, we don't need a ministry of cooking. Well, it seems that we do, because there's times whenever people don't have a meal, they don't have breakfast, and whenever we show them love and show them, hey, we care about you. We're out here trying to give to show God's love and to show, you know, the glory of God through a meal. And so, yes, you do need that part. You know, you don't just walk around and you see a hand on the ground and think that, oh, yeah, this is fine, everything's going great. You see a hand on the ground, you're thinking, oh my gosh, whose hand is this? Whoa, there's something wrong here, right? You know, we're all supposed to be a part of this body. We're not all one person. You know, I can't go or we're not all one person, one part of this body. I can't say I'm the full body, right? I can't do things. I tell you what, I can't cook like other people can cook, you know, and I can't preach like other people can preach, and I can't teach the way that other people can teach. But I can tell you what, I can show you some love. I can show you love that, you know, some people just ain't got. And I can explain things like other people can't explain them. I may not be able to interpret tongues or even discern spirits. I can't prophesy, at least not that I know of. But I believe that, you know, I can get my point across. I think whether or not it may be for your benefit, it could be for someone else's, but I think what I say can really reach someone. And I think I'd like to hope that I'm doing the will. I'm doing my part as the body, of Christ. I'd like to say that I'm doing God's will, and doing my responsibility, what I'm capable of doing. I watched in a video one time. This guy was talking about how if you have an ability and you can respond, then it's your responsibility. And so whether it be a cook who shows love by giving a meal to someone, or whether it be a preacher who's showing the wisdom and showing the knowledge, and or a teacher who's showing wisdom and knowledge and teaching students, and teaching uh, a congregation, or in general a singer who's reaching the hearts of those who may not be able to sit and listen to a preaching, but they can listen to a song because it's more captivating, and it can speak to their heart. Whether it be a cleaner, man, I tell you what, you want to know how someone feels safe inside a church is if it smells nice. Nobody wants to be in a place that stinks. Nobody wants to be in a place where they don't feel safe. And so to have a clean area, man, it makes people feel like, it makes people feel good. You ever walk into a house that's nice and clean, compared to a house that's dirty, you don't feel nearly as comfortable in a house that's dirty, or a church that's dirty. And so, yes, it's important. Every part is important. We are the hands and feet, and the eyes, and the nose and the mouth. We go and we talk, and we share. We're supposed to be sharing this word. We all have these abilities. Now, these are just some of the gifts inside this word. These are some gifts. There are other gifts in the Bible that the Bible talks about. But I want you to know that you're not in this alone. It says we are the body. We are the body. Now, we may not have the same gifts as you, and we all have our own place, right? We all have our own jobs, and some of us may have the same job. But in this, we're all together in this. Whenever one fails or one suffers, we all fail and we all suffer. And so whenever one is to be honored, we all rejoice with that person. And we let them know, hey, good job. You're doing such a great job, and encourage them to keep going. And so I want to let you know that we're all in this together. We're all strong in one body. You're not any less important than I am, and I'm not any less important than you. We're all working to do the same job, and as far as to do what God wills, right? We're all here for God and to show His glory, whether to do something different than someone else, whether to show the gift God's given you, whether one has one gift or one has another. We're all here to do God's will. To Him be the glory. And so I think I thought that was pretty neat, and I wanted to share that with y'all. And maybe if y'all want to, y'all can comment, give y'all's thoughts about that. I'd appreciate some feedback sometimes. But I love y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you next Wednesday.